What do you think about the current rules in refereeing? If any,
These
and
are
if
very good questions.
and if would you change anything?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for sitting with me tonight. I
Thank
feel
you.
like you are giving me a voice to share everything that I think is the matter with the sport right now. It's wonderful. So, rules in arm wrestling. First off, I think that there's a lot being talked about right now with rules and arm wrestling, and we've done it many ways in the past. And there's tradition, and and then there are children who play together in the park, you know. And I think that when you look at the children and you figure how it is that everyone argues about rules, you know. But the thing is what's important is that two people come together and they decide who is the victor, right? And they both agree. You know, if you haven't agreed, then there isn't a winner yet, you know. And arm wrestling helps to facilitate that. And the rules are okay, but I think that we need to keep that always at the forefront. So things like and I think we should simplify the discussion and talk about East versus West, because that's really like when you talk about the sport of arm wrestling, East versus West king of the table. This is the most important rule set because it represents the highest
Yeah.
expression of our sport. So, you know, we can keep things just very traditional and keep it very simple and just not change anything, which I'm not entirely opposed to. But if we were to make changes, I think that the most important thing is the elbow. Well, there's maybe two, but so the first thing is referees are calling fouls that aren't happening. This is just like
Yeah,
this
and it
is
stops the
this
match
is this
too
isn't
much.
this yes this is an egregious error on a referee's part. So this is not like oh, he missed a call. No, it's entirely different. Like when you miss a call, that's understandable. Like people are gonna miss things. There's a lot going on. Like it gets crazy sometimes in matches, and you miss calls. But if referees are creating calls that did not happen, that that is either unacceptable behavior and they need to be educated, or right away I start to feel that there's bias or something. It's just not good reffing. So that's probably my major issue whenever I see a referee error in that capacity. So I feel like referees need to take a step back and not feel that it's so important for them to make a call instantly. They just need to relax, take a step back, and know that if after the action, if they're a second behind the action, it's not about them anyways. They can just sit back and then they can make the call. It doesn't matter. So and did I say elbows already?
Yeah, yeah, you said.
Yeah, like the elbow actually, if it's on the pad, that's fine. Like it's not a foul.
Like as long as like
Like
only if the bone comes.
yeah, if there's part of the elbow still on the pad, like is this whole thing like as soon as this little piece or that little piece starts
Yeah,
creeping off,
that's too
like
much.
let's not stop matches on these minor, like if the elbow comes off the pad, okay, I get it. But the thing is, the athlete can't even be aware of that. You know, like you can't even be aware of this position, so you're not gonna feel it.
Yeah,
So I think that that's stopping matches. I think we also have to take it even further, and I think that we just always have to prioritize as referees to not step in, right? So that's why you use running fouls. You let the fight continue, and then you make them aware that there's an infraction, so that the athlete who's been kind of victimized has the right to start again if they so choose, but they also have the right to carry on and fight for the win. The one who did the foul will never win that round. If he pins, there's a restart and they carry the foul over. These are probably my greatest issues with the refereeing and rules. I would also say, do you let me talk this long?
yeah,
Yeah, it's cool because I have problems, man. Like,
yeah. I see. You are spilling everything.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the
It
rules on the
looks
ref.
like you have memories from all those things that
I've
happened to you.
been arm wrestling a long time and loving it
Yeah.
and fighting, and I just want the best for the sport. Like a lot of people don't know, you know, people say I'm a cheater and I am, but the thing is
Okay.
I also know that the game between us should be inherently fair, and like I came up with the fair strap. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So like rules, I care about rules. I do. I want them to be fair. I want them to be precise and good for everybody. Like, anyways, I ultimately think the best thing we can possibly do is move towards a freedom system. I do believe that that's the most exciting set of rules, but I think that that's many years away. I
Yeah.
think that that'll just continue to slowly come out. Probably, yeah, later.
Actually, my next question is how can arm wrestling become more exciting to new viewers? Because with the fouls and the stops by the referee,
Yeah.
it becomes too much. Too
Yes.
much time that the fight isn't going on. It's just talking. And it's not fun for a viewer who especially doesn't participate in. I mean, arm wrestle themselves.
Okay, say that again. Because what was the question?
Basically, how can arm wrestling become more exciting for new viewers?
Okay.
Like
Okay.
as a person who just views,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know?
Yeah, I understand. So you're watching the pay-per-view,
Yeah.
and so I think that for me, I always want to know what's going on. I'm trying to understand like what I'm watching and taking information and think it's cool. So like if I was watching, I would want to know everything about these combatants. Like what why is this one good? How does that work? Which one's better? So I would want more analysis, and I think like this is something that this actually might be happening real soon.
Okay.
This is something we've been pitching for a while, and I think that I don't know, they might be. Well, we'll see. But I would love to see DEXA scan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know exactly what are we looking at here. Like, how much is his arm weigh? How much his arm weigh? What about his thumb? What about all these parts?
Oh, okay. So I was talking like more like in the middle of a match.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, look, in the middle of a match, I mean, I like arm wrestling. I think, that's the thing. Like, I said I like freedom rules because it allows, like, more fighting and it's harder to pin. See, the thing is, what I like is fights that are difficult and where somebody has to, like, figure it out and it's hard to figure out. And I just think that, like, arm wrestling is a puzzle that's, like, it's like fighting in a phone booth. And like if you expand the pads, like East versus West added 1 centimeter to the size of each so that expands the play surface, so that makes the puzzle more difficult. And also you can play with the pad height for pin, right? And that's you can change that rule. You can expand it to the playing surface for pin line. And this expands the amount of time and the enormity of the win. And that's the thing that I always keep coming back to. Like when I'm watching arm wrestling, I want to really know that that's the winner. Like I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, he kind of won, but like so making a win bigger is like a more cool sport to me. Like I want to see a clear destruction.
And do you think you can shorten the time between rounds? Because I mean, for me,
Well, it depends
yeah.
because sometimes, like, I don't mind because you see, I love arm wrestling so much that I like to talk about it with my friends. So, like, when it's in between rounds, I like to think, like, what are they thinking? What
Yeah.
am I thinking? Like, this is what I see. This is what they see, and we've got people we're cheering for, and also I'm also thinking. I'm also thinking what they're thinking. And it takes me about 90 seconds sometimes,
Yeah. But for most people, it's not like that. Most people just watch it maybe for fun, or they
You
don't
think they
know
should
the.
shorten the rounds?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, for me, I think it's a bit too much. Maybe it's too long between rounds,
Right. Right. You know, so you could make it that they just stay.
or just go straight into the straps.
But the thing
Things,
is
things to shorten it.
yeah, I don't think that that's probably going to change too much. I think that one, I mean, the 90 seconds between rounds, I'd shorten it myself But, you know, the thing is I'm in an athlete's position. And if I was to shorten, it would be considered like, you know, favor to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, most of my career, I'm good with endurance, right?
Yeah.
So I want the round to be short. Like, I want the rest time even shorter. Like, I don't want typically. And that way, you know what? I think it's a great idea. Why are we having rest between rounds? Why don't you go from that side of the table to that side of the table? I mean, that's how we do it in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And why are we going down and sitting down? Why don't you stay at the table and fight? I think that's a great idea. That's what you think?
Yeah.
That'd be cooler, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me, no. I need to rest. You know.
Oh, you as an athlete.
Yeah, as an athlete.
But as a fan.
Yeah, but as a fan, I
You
think
just
it
want to
would
see
be.
one guy's going to rip the other guy apart. That's it.
I mean, yeah.
It's done.
I think this would
Yeah.
be more fun for
You're right.
the viewer.
It is.